You could just remind me the name, or this voice song a little unfamiliar to me.
Yes. I'm new here. My name is Bass. Most people would know me as Third Bass, but just call me Bass.
All right, Mr. Bass. Pleasant good afternoon to you, sir. So, as usual, we from Batson and Associates discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. As I said, well, this is my first program, I believe, for this year on this frequency. So, a healthy and a happy new year to the listeners of Freedom 106.5 FM. As we always say, your health is your wealth. So today, of course, we're going to be discussing a number of issues. We're going to touch a bit on weight loss because, a lot of persons after Christmas and then going into Carnival, some persons may be desirous of losing weight or attaining a healthier weight as it relates to the road and that type of thing. Of course, we have the program is interactive. So if persons have any questions, comments as regards to what we do at Batson Associates or any health issue, you, of course, Base would remind them what that contact information is. So coming out the door there, as it relates to weight loss, I'm a big advocate of health, exercise, that type of thing. And there's a particular product that we carry at Batson Associates called Santulan. And Santulan basically means equilibrium or balance in Hindu. Is a Ayurvedic based product. And what it really does is clean and detoxify kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Now, the way the human body operates, you have 7 channels or 7 aspects in which the body eliminates waste. Kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. And Santulan actually deals with all 7 of those. Now, regardless of what someone's health issue is, whether you have diabetes, which is primarily high levels of glucose in your blood, whether it's type 1, type 2, type 3, 4, 5 diabetes, that has to do a lot with liver health. It also has a lot to do with digestive health. Another example, if you may have problems with hypertension, which we know hypertension is high pressure in your arteries. You have 3 main blood vessels in the body: arteries, which are the largest. You have veins, which are smaller than the arteries, but less elastic, and then, of course, or more elastic rather, and then, of course, you have your capillaries. The thing is, an individual who suffers from elevated blood pressure usually is an indication, again, of some issue in any of those 7 channels, primarily circulatory system, that type of thing. So, that's something that persons need to pay very, very close attention to. Even with migraine headaches, I mean, one of the things we do at Batson Associates, we deal with a lot of diabetics because we do operate an integrative health or diabetic clinic. And one of the things you find even with persons who suffer from migraine headaches, you always have a headache. Some persons on a daily basis, 3 times a week, maybe 4 times a week, every other month you have a headache. And you may not necessarily know why. That is where, again, detoxification comes in, because when you have buildup of toxins in the body, it is very easy to end up with a situation where, headaches become very prevalent, whether it's cluster headaches, migraine headaches, whatever type of headaches you may experience. And that is something that you also need to pay very close attention to. So, of course, feel free to give us a call or visit at any one of our locations. Head office is primarily Chagonas. That's Montrose Main Road, Chagonas. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good afternoon to our social media individuals. We are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. That telephone number for Chagonas, that number is 222-8261. Again, that's 222-8261. So, Base, I'll go over to you. And, of course, you could remind them of the WhatsApp number, the contact number to ask questions. And we'll go from there, sir.
All right, the numbers here are 627-3223. 625-2257 and WhatsApp at 306-1065. Once again, 627-3223. If you're listening for our first time, we say welcome. Also 625-2257 and WhatsApp only 306-1065.
Good, definitely. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to our Instagram persons. We have Miss Sherry Munilal says good afternoon. We have a question. Someone is asking because I remember last program in December, I had a topic where we discussed depression and mental health as an integrative practitioner. For those persons who may not be aware, basically, my qualification, I hold a bachelor's in holistic health science, a master's in health science, and my PhD is natural and integrative medicine with an aspect in clinical nutrition. That's where my concentration primarily was. So, you know, someone is asking the question, as it relates to depression, is it related to insomnia? And the thing is, yes and no, in the sense that you could, so insomnia is the inability to sleep well. Let me put it like that, from my definitive explanation, in the sense that a lot of persons sleep, but they do not sleep well. And I'll explain. You have two types of sleep primarily. You have what is known as REM sleep, which is an acronym for rapid eye movement, and you have non-REM sleep, which is non-rapid eye movement. Usually, your body cycles into REM sleep and non-REM sleep. The cycle would average anywhere in between an hour and a half, around there. However, a lot of persons do not experience REM sleep, which is primarily deep sleep. And the thing is, the main purpose of sleep is to really rejuvenate and renew neurotransmitters in the brain. So the thing is, you may be sleeping, but your quality of sleep is what may be questionable. And that is very easy to recognize, simply because if, for example, you go to bed, you have problems falling asleep, you sleep, and when you get up, you feel as if you're not one sleeping, so you're basically exhausted. It means that your sleep was not quality sleep. Now, as it relates to sleep deprivation and depression, they are, of course, linked. Now, in the human body, your liver plays a significant role in mental health. How so? Your liver converts protein to amino acids to protein. Amino acids are the building block for proteins. However, your body actually utilizes, or your brain rather, utilizes amino acids to make what are known as neurotransmitters. Example of neurotransmitters would be things like epinephrine, norepinephrine, serotonin, melatonin. So you would find, for example, you have supplements like melatonin supplements, which are basically geared to help individuals sleep, right? But back to the aspect of liver health and looking at health from an integrated perspective. If you have an unhealthy liver, you're going to have problems sleeping. Because as I said, the liver produces the raw material for your brain to produce neurotransmitters. So of course, if there's a shortage in the production of neurotransmitters via the liver, then of course you're going to have some issues, you know, where that is concerned. And that's something that, you know, we actually help persons to understand and deal with at Batson and Associates. So that's something you need to pay close attention to. There's another question that we actually got here. Basically, you'll just interrupt me if you have any questions on your side, right, sir?
Sure, will do.
Okay, definitely. So we have someone on the Instagram here who's asking a question. She said, as it relates to sleep and depression, is it that menopause could contribute to a situation like this? And the answer, of course, again, is yes. Because when you're speaking about menopause is a stage that a female will go through in her life where she would cease to have a menstrual cycle. In order for a female to know whether she's going through menopause or has gone through menopause or not, you would have to consecutively for about 2 years not see your menstrual cycle. Of course, there are different tests you could do looking at hormones and different aspects of the endocrine system to actually determine whether you actually went through menopause or not. But the point is, women who experience, who are premenopause, menopause, and even post-menopause, regardless of the number of years that they have gone through menopause. So let's say, for example, a female may have gone through her menopause at the age of 50. She is now 70 years. Could she have an issue with hormonal imbalance? The answer is yes. Now, a lot of persons wouldn't understand that. They would say, well, no, if I had gone through that 20 years ago, how could that now affect me at the age of 70? The reason for that is that hormones, which are produced by glands in the endocrine system primarily comprises of your thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, adrenal, and those other glands. And they produce hormones, which would be things like estrogen, progesterone, gonadotropin, testosterone, adrenal, different ones. The fact is, once you're alive as a female, you need to have proper hormonal balance in the body. So there's actually a point in time that regardless of the time you went through menopause, you can have hormonal upheaval. And there's something known as PMS, which is postmenopausal syndrome, which is a very devastating thing for any woman to go through because it has a lot of debilitating symptomology associated with it. Depression, anxiety, insomnia, mood swings, serious problems associated with muscle weakness. So in some cases, these women can't really stand the day. Serious issues. You could have problems with hypertension and a number of other issues. So the point is, once you have this particular hormonal imbalance challenge, then those issues or that symptomology, the insomnia, the depression, the anxiety is going to be there as a result of that particular aspect of the body need correcting or actually addressing. So that was to better answer your question. And of course, at Batson and Associates, we do a number of diagnostic aspects. Primarily, I like blood analysis. For persons who listen who may not be aware as to what that is, it's primarily capillary blood. So we do not use venous blood. So it would be basically from your finger. And we place that under a high-powered microscope, which would magnify about 2,000-3,000 times. Now, the advantage in that is that blood is life. Blood is basically the greatest witness in the human body in the sense that blood tells you past, present, and future. The reason why in medicine, blood is the most tested serum. So, for example, if it is you want to know if you have high inflammatory response, for example, there's a lab test you can do called an ESR, which stands for erythrocyte sedimentation ratio. And if your number's over that is an indication that you have high inflammatory response in the body. So people, for example, who have that would be persons, usually diabetics have it, people who have rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, or any form of arthritis, because arthritis is an inflammatory disease, people who suffer from lupus, fibromyalgia, and the list goes on and on. If you want to know, for example, as a male, you want to find out if you have a healthy prostate, they will do something known as a PSA, which is an acronym for prosthetic specific antigen. Again, that's a blood test that will be done in a lab. The point I'm making is that the reason why blood is the most tested serum in medicine is because blood gives you indication of a number of things. With a blood analysis now, it gives you an in-depth look in the sense that we are able to look at what is known as biological terrain. What do I mean by that? So let's look, for example, farming. So let's say you're planting lettuce or tomato. You would have to ensure that the soil is of a particular type in order for that particular crop to flourish and to do what it needs to do, to bear. You cannot plant lettuce in the desert because the desert, of course, is an arid area and there are certain plants that would survive in that ecosystem. For example, cacti, which has the ability to store water for extended period of time and that type of thing. So the point I'm making is that when we're actually able to see your biological terrain, we're actually able now to determine the root causes of your issue. What do I mean by that? As I said, if the environment is conducive to life, life is going to happen. If it is conducive to disease, like the example I gave with high levels of inflammation, because if you have a high ESR, what's the other test they use to determine high inflammatory response, boy? There's also one known as a C-reactive protein. So if you do a C-reactive protein test, it will be able to also show that as well. What does that mean? It means your body is in a condition or a state where it allows sickness to prosper or flourish. Because the environment, once that environment is conducive to disease, then that is exactly what's going to happen to you. So that's something that you need to take, or the listeners would need to take into consideration. I answered that particular question there. Of course, keep in mind you can contact us at any one of our locations. The Shogunas office, that number is 222-8261. For Debe, Debe is located on the corner of Ramsamud Street and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number for Debe is 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number is 220-8113. Again, that's 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number for Tobago is 226-50 4553. Again, that's 226-4553. So based over to you.
Question.
Yes,
I
sir.
have a question here. In terms of lowering your blood pressure, for somebody with high blood pressure to lower that blood pressure, do you have anything for that?
Yes, we do. A number of different products that we offer for that. The thing is, I normally tell persons, depending on your situation, it's always best to book a consultation. I mean, even though we usually always book that, but we have additional consultants and whatnot now, so that we'll be able to dot our I's and cross our T's. How so? So quickly, based on that question with hypertension, anyone who suffers from hypertension, I guarantee there's a particular problem that you have. And the problem that you have, one is dehydration. Now, you might say, I'm drinking a lot of water, but a lot of persons do not know that there's a rule to drink water. So, for example, water or hydration has to do with your body weight. So the rule for drinking water is your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. So, for example, if someone weighs 300 pounds, it means half of 300 is 150. 150 in liters. You'll have to convert ounces and then liters. So let me go to an easy figure that I would be able to calculate quickly. So let's say you weigh 160, half of 160 is 80. 80 into ounces will carry you to maybe about 2.5 to maybe about 3 liters of water for the day. So water has a lot to do with your requirement. And then someone, for example, who works outside. So let's say you may be a laborer or someone working in the sun or something like that. You're going to have to drink more because you're going to be perspiring more as opposed to someone who's working in air condition. Now, the unfortunate thing with a lot of persons is that when you work in air condition actually fools the body and you are not thirsty. So some people would say, well, I'm not thirsty. So because of that, I don't drink water. The unfortunate thing as well is that thirst is a 30-minute delayed reaction. So if you're thirsty 4 o'clock, your body was really thirsty since 3:30. It takes 30 minutes for that message to reach. So that is one thing someone needs to look at. There's a line of water we carry called Alkagen, which is a premium alkaline water. We also carry hypertension teas. There's a product we carry called inflammation formula, which is more a combination of grape and that type of thing. That also helps as well. But the point I'm making, someone who has high blood pressure too as well, they have issue in terms of circulation. Now, there are different types of hypertension as well. There's 2 types of circulation in the body. You have pulmonary circulation, which is circulation above your heart, and you have systemic circulation, which is circulation below your heart. There is something known as pulmonary hypertension, which is the worst type of hypertension because persons who suffer from pulmonary hypertension, it is very easy for you to have ischemic problems. What do I mean by that? Ischemia is a situation where you actually have lack of blood flow to the brain. So, for example, a stroke, you have ischemic strokes. You have 2 types of strokes. You have ischemic strokes and you have hemorrhagic strokes. Primarily, there are other types, but primarily you have ischemic, hemorrhagic. An ischemic stroke is when you have lack of blood flow to the brain, and we know the importance of blood. Blood transports oxygen and nutrients to different cells. So if you have an interruption of blood flow to any part of the brain, you're going to have an interruption of oxygen, and that could cause what is known as an ischemic stroke. Hemorrhagic strokes, however, are bleeding strokes where you actually have blood vessels that can rupture in the brain. Those are really terrible strokes. And then there's something also known as a TIA, which is an acronym for transient ischemic attack, which is a mini stroke. So a lot of persons, so in other words, the reason why I'm saying all of this is that if you're a hypertensive individual, one of the things you need to look at is your hydration, and you also need to improve your circulation. But hydration is very, very important. So those listening, keep in mind that when you're drinking water, the rule for drinking water is your body weight. So go on a scale, weigh yourself, and how much ever you weigh, you divide that by half, and that amount in ounces is your water requirement, your minimal requirement for the day. Okay, Base, I don't know if you have any more questions, or if you could, yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Yeah, one more question here about acid reflux. I have a very serious problem with acid reflux. Can you help me, Mr. Batson?
Yes, we can, definitely. Acid reflux. So let me run quickly into that. So acid reflux has to do with stomach acid that actually regurgitates and comes up in your esophagus. If it's really, really bad, it's going to come up into your mouth and that type of thing. So there's something known as GERD, which is gastrointestinal reflux disease. Now, there are a number of reasons why you could suffer from acid reflux. One, you're eating and drinking simultaneously, which is a horrible habit. It's a Western habit. People in the Eastern world do not do that. You're not supposed to eat your meal and drink simultaneously. Worse yet, if it is like soft drink and juice and that type of thing, you're messing up your digestive system, because what happens with that is that you actually dissolve the digestive juices, and that actually makes digestion longer. It impairs digestion. You have to always remember too that when you're looking at stomach acid, remember your body doesn't store acid for digestion, right? Your hydrochloric acid is produced during digestion, but it is produced and it's supposed to remain primarily in the stomach area. If that leaves anywhere else, it's going to cause burning and that type of thing. So eating and drinking simultaneously is one. Not eating on time could also contribute to that. Drinking a lot of cold water. A lot of people do not know that cold water internally is not your friend. It will shorten your life for a number of reasons. On our next program, maybe I could expand on that a bit. So as it relates to acid reflux, yes, we can help. But I'm the type of person, when I speak, and I like to explain things to persons. So at least automatically, one of the things that you should try and do is chew your food properly and do not eat and drink simultaneously. You should drink something hot, ideally a hot cup of tea, no milk, no sugar, maybe 30 minutes before your meal, if your schedule allows that, because I know a lot of persons, you're busy, you might be in the office, whatever the case may be. So you're looking to have your meals. And when you finish your meal, you could drink maybe a little bit of water to take whatever supplements, vitamins, whatever you're taking. But ideally, you should drink water maybe about at least a large amount of water, anywhere between maybe 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, even depending on what the meal is after the meal. As it relates to what we have, we carry a product called Digestive Restore and Digestive Balance, which is primarily enzyme probiotic pre-digestive to actually help in your food digesting properly. Because a lot of persons, have issues with digesting protein. Protein is the longest to digest in the body. Sugars first. So that's something that you also need to pay close attention to. So we do have those things available. There's also a gastro tea that we carry, which is a tea to improve your gastrointestinal system. But of course, again, no milk, no sugar. When you put milk and sugar in tea, it's not tea again. You just spoil the people good thing. So that's something that you need to pay very close attention to as well. Any more questions, Biz?
Yeah, another question here. Doctor, how long does it take to get an assessment?
How long does it take to get an assessment? It depends. Usually now, okay, I think I understand where this question, what they mean. The assessment could be done if we're doing the blood analysis, magnetic resonance analysis scan, which is the base diagnostic that we do. You need to fast for 2 hours, and that could take you about 2 hours to do. You get all your results immediately. It is explained to you. If you have a review with myself, who is the senior medical consultant, you might have a little longer wait. However, but we have consultants that are well trained and qualified to deal with that. I would just do the review for you if so desired, right? Yeah, so I believe I answered the question there, sir.
All right, no more questions thus far. But once again, you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson of Batson & Associates, to speak about the alternative, natural, and integrated services programs for individuals suffering from various ailments like diabetes, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, weight loss, and more.
Definitely. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Ms. Kathleen Ishmael. Keep in mind again, you can like us, you can join us on our social media platforms. We are Batson & Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson & Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson & Associates Trinidad. Let me just answer a question from a young lady here. She's asking about polycystic ovarian syndrome. So just quickly, based on the time that I have, the thing is, when you're dealing with polycystic ovarian syndrome, what is that? Polycystic ovarian syndrome is when women experience what is known as polycystic ovaries. So your ovary is supposed to have, how could I give a visual about this? It's supposed to be nice and smooth in terms of the type of texture. Women who have polycystic ovarian syndrome, you'll be seeing a lot of cysts in the ovaries, and as a result of that, the ovaries would not function as they're supposed to. So a woman who has, or a female, who has polycystic ovarian syndrome can have a very painful menstrual cycle. She can have an irregular cycle where her cycle doesn't come on a monthly basis. She could miss like maybe 2 months, she don't get a menstrual cycle, that type of thing. Women who usually have polycystic ovarian syndrome can also have fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, adenomyosis. There are a lot of ailments that you have where females are concerned, or in gynecology as it relates to the uterus and that type of thing. Do we offer any protocol for that? Yes, we do. There's a product we carry called Women's Formula Female Balance. I'm a big advocate of, as I said before, of cleansing and detoxifying, because if you really understand what toxins do in your body and why it is important to detox, but of course you have to know what type of detox you're using, because there's something known as auto-intoxication, auto-self-intoxication poison, and that actually happens to a lot of individuals. So again, you could feel free to give us a call or visit that telephone number. I'll just give you the one for head office, which you would be able to get all the numbers. That number for Chaguanas, Montrose Main Road, first floor of Money Talks building. That number is 222-8261. Again, that's 222-8261. And as regards to, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Mr. Batson, it was a pleasure. And
pleasure. Thank you very much, sir.
Let me say a pleasant good afternoon again to the listeners of 106.5 FM. Make sure and take care of yourself. Guys, be safe. Immunity. Next topic, I'm going to speak about immunity, because we have a virus going around here that people need to be very careful. So again, safe, happy, healthy New Year. Until next time. Take care.
Thank you very much, sir. And of course, see you next week. Dr. Jason Batson of Batson and Associates right here on Freedom 106.5.
If you love technology, then tune in for the digital world on Freedom 106.
Yes, social media. So let me say a pleasant good afternoon. You all realize that was a mouthful there. So Ms. Pauline Francis, pleasant good afternoon to you. Ms. Kathleen Ishmael, timely and very necessary. Yes, my dear. Ms. Ruby Sami, good afternoon to you. Ms. Verna Clean, a good day. Dr. Batson, great job. Thank you so very much. Ms. Pamela Moses, good afternoon to you again, my dear Ms. Annie Grant. So guys, we'll be hopping over to our favorite DJ Mamu. That's DJ Mamu Radio TT.com, and we'll be starting that program at 2:05. So yours truly will be jumping off here, and I'll be going to do that program in a little bit. Those of you who need any information regarding our products or services, and of course, like us, share us on Facebook, share the good news, let's help somebody. We have some new testimonies coming up that we're going to put up. One of our clients came to us, she had serious problems with her infertility, and now she's pregnant. So God's willing, once she follows and we do our feedback follow-up, get her healthy, so she doesn't have things to deal with like postpartum depression and any issue challenges during pregnancy. And hopefully, God's willing, she will have a healthy baby boy or baby girl to add to the hundreds of persons that we have helped already. So guys, that program we're going to have 2:05, DJ Mamu Radio TT.com. You have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. Head office number, Chaguanas, Montrose Main Road, 222-8261. Again, that's 222-8261. For all your products, Eye Optics Formula, Santulan, Nerve Restore, Optimizer, our teas. We have teas, the circulation kind of run a little low, but we're getting that again. There's a tea that is very popular. It works very well. So you guys can look out for that. God bless you guys and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And those of you who joined us, remember it's 2:05 and it's DJ Mamu Radio TT.com. Remember, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Take care of yourself, guys. Bye.